The blue-green planet hung in the blackness of space, swirling with white clouds and shimmering oceans. The alien ship approached slowly, its strange curved hull gleaming in the sunlight. Inside the vessel, two beings watched the planet with a mixture of excitement and fear. "Are you certain this is wise, Antal?" asked Zivka, her 6 fingers tapping nervously on the control panel. "The scans show extremely high gravity, dangerous radiation levels, and an atmosphere filled with corrosive oxygen." Antal's large eyes blinked slowly. "The Galactic Council demands we make contact with all intelligent species. These humans have begun reaching into space. It is time." Aboard the International Space Station, Lisa Martinez floated toward the observation window. Something had triggered the proximity alerts, but it wasn't space junk or a satellite. Her eyes widened as she saw the massive ship, at least 5 times larger than the station, hovering silently outside. "Houston, this is Commander Martinez. You're not going to believe what I'm seeing right now." Her voice remained steady despite her racing heart. The radio crackled with static before a voice responded. "Commander, we're tracking an unknown object near your position. Can you describe it?" Before Lisa could answer, every screen on the station lit up with the same message. "We come in peace. We are the unified species of the Galactic Council. We wish to speak." The next 24 hours changed human history forever. World leaders gathered in emergency sessions, while Lisa served as humanity's first ambassador. The aliens established a translation system and began learning about Earth and its people. "You live your entire lives in this gravity?" asked Zivka, her slender body supported by a special suit. "It would crush my bones in less than 1 Earth day without this protection." Lisa nodded. "This is normal for us. We evolved here." Intel scanned Lisa with a small device. "Your body contains metals we consider toxic. Your lungs process oxygen that would burn our respiratory systems. Your skin resists radiation levels that would kill most council species." "Those things are just part of Earth," Lisa explained. "Nothing special about it." But the aliens disagreed. They watched in amazement as Lisa exercised, her muscles working. 5 years passed since the aliens first came to Earth. Humans now knew they were part of a much larger universe. The unified species shared some of their technology, and Earth took its first careful steps into the stars. Jack Nelson checked his flight suit one last time before boarding the alien ship. As a Navy pilot with 15 years of experience, he had been chosen to be the first human to join an alien crew. The ship, called the Astral Voyager, would travel to 3 star systems over 6 months. "Ready for your big adventure, Nelson?" asked his commander. Jack nodded. "As ready as I'll ever be, sir." The inside of the alien ship looked strange to Jack. The walls curved in unusual ways, and the lights were too purple for human eyes. Captain Drell, a tall blue-skinned alien, welcomed him aboard. "Your quarters have been adjusted to Earth conditions," said Drell. "The gravity and air mix should be comfortable for you." Jack thanked him and settled in. The other crew members watched him carefully. None of them had worked with a human before. They seemed nervous around him. 3 weeks into the journey, alarms blared throughout the ship. Jack rushed to the bridge, where the crew was in panic. "Krell ships approaching," shouted the first officer. 3 attack vessels." Captain Drell turned to Jack. "The Krell are raiders. They attack developing worlds and steal resources. They must have followed us from the Procyon system." The ship rocked as the first shots hit their shields. Jack watched as the alien crew worked to defend the ship, but their movements seemed slow and clumsy to him. When a particularly strong hit knocked the pilot from his seat, the ship began to drift toward an asteroid field. "We need to move now," Jack shouted. No one responded. He realized the alien crew was suffering from the stress of sudden acceleration. Their bodies couldn't handle the forces that were normal to him. Without asking permission, Jack jumped into the pilot's seat. The controls were different, but the basics were the same. He gripped the strange steering mechanism and pulled the ship into a tight turn, threading between 2 large asteroids. The Krell ships followed, firing continuously. Jack's body tensed against the G-forces as he performed maneuvers that would make Earth pilots proud. To him, the forces were uncomfortable but manageable. To the alien crew, they were nearly fatal. "Nelson, you must slow down," gasped Captain Drell. "The crew cannot withstand these forces." "We can't slow down or we'll be killed," Jack replied, swinging the ship around another asteroid. "Just hang on." Jack flew through the asteroid field for 20 minutes, his reflexes and strength allowing him to control the ship under conditions no alien pilot could handle. One Krell ship crashed into an asteroid. Another took damage and retreated. The third continued the chase until Jack executed a loop around a small moon, coming up behind the enemy and allowing the weapons officer to disable it with a well-placed shot. When they finally reached safety, the alien crew stared at Jack in awe and fear. "How did you survive that?" asked the science officer, checking Jack's vital signs. "The acceleration should have broken your bones. The reaction time needed to navigate those asteroids exceeds most species' capabilities." Jack shrugged. "It was rough, but nothing special. Any fighter pilot from Earth could have done it." That night, as Jack slept, Captain Drell sent an urgent message to the Galactic Council. The report detailed Jack's impossible survival and physical resilience. It included medical scans showing how Jack's body handled stress that would kill most species in the galaxy. The council members reviewed the report with growing concern. Humans were more dangerous than they had initially believed. Scientists were ordered to study humans more carefully. The council voted immediately to limit human expansion into space. On Earth, leaders received a diplomatic message from the council. New restrictions would be placed on human space travel. No explanation was given. The first sign of the galaxy's fear had appeared. Despite the new restrictions, Earth continued to push outward. Humans built their first off-world colony on a planet orbiting Proxima Centauri, the closest star to Earth. They named the colony New Horizon, and it became home to 200 scientists, engineers, and their families. Susan Miller served as the colony director. She had worked for NASA for 20 years before taking this position. The aliens provided some technology, but humans did most of the work themselves. "The environmental systems are working well," Susan told her team during their weekly meeting. "But we need to prepare for the solar storm that's coming. Proxima is an unstable star." 3 alien scientists lived at the colony to study human adaptation to space. They came from different planets and needed special rooms with adjusted gravity and atmosphere. 2 days later, the storm hit. It was much stronger than predicted. The colony's shields weakened and radiation leaked through. Then the main power failed. "Backup systems are responding," reported Ben Walsh, the chief engineer, but then alarms blared throughout the station. "Temperature controls are failing," said a technician. "We're losing heat fast." Susan called an emergency meeting. "The storm damaged our heating systems. Outside temperature is -80 degrees. We need solutions now." The alien scientists panicked. "This is a death sentence," said Sorla, the oldest of the 3. "No one can survive these temperatures." "We can," Susan said firmly. "For a while. At least, long enough to fix the problem." The colonists gathered in the central hall, bringing blankets and warm clothes. Engineers worked on repairs while others found ways to generate heat. They burned materials in controlled fires. They huddled together to share body heat. They drank hot liquids and kept moving. The temperature dropped to freezing. Then well below, the aliens, even in their special suits, began to shut down. Their bodies couldn't handle the cold. Human medics moved them to the warmest part of the colony and worked to keep them alive. "We can survive this," Susan told her frightened people. "Humans have lived through worse on Earth." Alan Diaz, a mining engineer, came to Susan with an idea. "The backup generator at Mining Station 3 might still work. It could power our heating system." "But Station 3 is 15 miles away," Susan said. Alan nodded. "I know. I'll go get it." "That's suicide," said Ben. "The storm is still raging. Your suit won't hold up." "I have to try," Alan replied. They gave him their strongest suit and all the supplies they could spare. Susan watched on the monitors as Alan stepped out into the frozen landscape of Proxima. The wind blew at 200 miles per hour. Ice crystals filled the air. The temperature was nearly 100 degrees below zero. Alan disappeared into the storm. For 3 hours, there was no contact. The colonists continued fighting for survival as the temperature dropped further. Then Alan's voice came through on the radio, weak but clear. "I made it. Activating the generator now." An hour later, warm air began flowing through the vents. The heating system slowly came back online. The colonists cheered. When a rescue ship arrived 5 days later, they found a miracle. Every human had survived. They were hungry, tired, and cold, but alive. 2 of the alien scientists had died despite the humans' best efforts to save them. The third barely survived. News of the incident spread quickly through the galaxy. The Council received detailed reports of humans surviving conditions considered universally fatal. Medical scans showed humans with body temperatures that would mean death for most species, yet they continued to function. The Galactic Council held an emergency session. They created a new classification for humans: extreme environmental survivors. More restrictions were placed on human exploration. Alien scientists requested permission to study human physiology more closely. On Earth, government leaders puzzled over these new limitations. Why was the galaxy so afraid of humans? They had only shown their ability to survive, not to conquer or destroy. Little did they know, in the eyes of the galaxy, survival against impossible odds was the most frightening power of all. The Krell attacks grew worse over the next year. These fierce raiders targeted many worlds in the Ta-Ceti system, destroying settlements and taking resources. Several peaceful species faced extinction. The Galactic Council debated what to do, but they moved slowly. Earth leaders watched the situation with growing concern. Humans had only been part of galactic society for 7 years, but they understood the danger the Krell represented. "We should help," said the American president during the United Nations meeting. "We have the military experience the Council needs." After much debate, Earth sent a small volunteer force of 500 soldiers and 3 ships. Captain Frank Johnson led the mission. At 45, he had fought in wars on Earth and understood combat better than most. "We're not here to take over," he told his troops before they left Earth. "We're here to help and to show the galaxy that humans can be good allies." The Galactic Council accepted Earth's help with hesitation. They assigned the human force to defend a small moon colony that housed refugees from Krell attacks. No one expected the Krell to target this location. They were wrong. 12 Krell ships appeared without warning. The moon had only basic defenses and a small security force of aliens from different worlds. Captain Johnson immediately took command. "Our ship will engage their main vessel," he told his officers. "Ground forces will defend the colony." The battle started badly. 2 human ships took heavy damage in the first attack. The third, under Johnson's command, fought on. On the moon's surface, human soldiers faced Krell warriors for the first time. The Krell stood over 7 feet tall with armor built into their scaly bodies. They carried plasma weapons and moved with frightening speed. But the humans fought back with unexpected strength. Sergeant Kate Williams led a squad defending the colony's main entrance. When 3 of her soldiers were injured, she did not retreat. For 3 days and nights, her team held position without sleep or food. They fought through injuries that would have stopped most species in the galaxy. "Humans don't give up," she told a frightened alien child who watched them fight. "We protect our own, and right now, you're our own." In space, Captain Johnson's ship took severe damage. Life support failed in 3 sections. Radiation leaked into the command center. But the crew kept fighting. "How are they still functioning?" asked a council observer watching from a safe distance. "Their bodies have absorbed radiation that would kill our species instantly," After 5 days of fighting, reinforcements arrived. The combined forces drove the Krell away. The moon colony survived, thanks largely to human efforts. Medical teams from the Council examined the human soldiers afterward. They documented wounds that should have been fatal. They recorded humans functioning despite blood loss, broken bones, and radiation exposure. One doctor watched in disbelief as a human with 3 broken ribs helped carry supplies. "Don't your people feel pain?" the doctor asked. "Of course we do," replied the soldier. "But the job's not done yet." The Council received detailed reports from the battle. Videos showed humans continuing to fight despite injuries. Scans revealed their dense bone structure and efficient muscles. Data confirmed their ability to function without rest for days. In an emergency session, the Council reclassified humans again. No longer were they just environmental survivors. Now they were a warrior species with potential for galactic destabilization. When Captain Johnson and his troops returned to Earth, they were surprised to learn about new, stricter limits on human movement in space. No human ships could travel beyond Proxima Centauri without special permission. No human could serve on alien military vessels. No human weapons could be sold to other species. "They're treating us like we're dangerous," said Johnson during his debriefing. "We are dangerous," replied his superior officer. "At least in their eyes. We survived things that would kill them, and that scares them more than the Krell." The gap between Earth and the galaxy widened. Humans had proven their value as allies, but their very nature made the Council fear them. The Galactic Council needed to understand humans better. After the battle at Tau Ceti, they sent their top scientist to Earth. Dr. Paul Rivera, a human biologist who had worked with alien species for 3 years, was chosen to help with this study. "We need to explain what makes humans different," said the Council representative. "Your people can survive conditions that kill other species. We need to know why." Dr. Rivera set up a research center in Arizona. Scientists from 12 different alien worlds came to study humans. They watched as test subjects ran in the desert heat, swam in icy water, and held their breath for minutes at a time. "Your muscles are incredibly dense," said Lori, a scientist from a low-gravity world. Her own body was thin and fragile compared to the humans. "You can lift objects that would crush most species. And your immune systems are like nothing we've seen," added another alien researcher. "You live with billions of bacteria on your skin and in your bodies. Most species would die from such exposure." Dr. Rivera explained how Earth's harsh conditions shaped human evolution. "Our planet has gone through multiple extinction events. Species that couldn't adapt quickly died out. Humans survived because we could adapt to almost anything." The alien scientists were amazed by human abilities that seemed ordinary to Dr. Rivera. Humans could eat foods that would poison other species. Human skin could repair itself after being cut or burned. Human bones could heal after breaking. Humans could survive with only one lung, one kidney, or parts of their liver removed. Humans could adapt to extreme temperatures, high altitudes, and different gravity. "Even your reproduction is strange," noted one alien scientist. "Human females can grow an entire new person inside their bodies. The pain of childbirth would kill most species, yet human women survive it and often choose to do it multiple times." Dr. Rivera smiled. "We don't think of ourselves as special. This is just normal for us." The research continued for months. The scientists observed humans sleeping, eating, working, and playing. They studied human history and were shocked by what they found. "Your people have survived wars, plagues, natural disasters, and climate changes," said Lori. "You've been hurt by radiation, poison, disease, and injury, yet you keep going. Your bodies and minds simply refuse to give up." Dr. Rivera nodded. "That's probably our most unique trait, our determination. Humans don't like to quit, even when we should." The Council received daily reports from the research team. They learned about Earth's unique environment, its heavy gravity that made human bones and muscles stronger, its changing climate that forced humans to adapt quickly. Its diverse ecosystems that exposed humans to countless pathogens, building their immune systems. Its high levels of radiation from the sun. Its oxygen-rich atmosphere that allowed humans to produce more energy. One day, a council member asked about human psychological traits. Are they all as stubborn as the soldiers we saw? Do they all keep fighting despite injuries? Dr. Rivera considered this question carefully. Humans evolved as pack hunters. We chased prey until it collapsed from exhaustion, even if it took days. We learned to ignore pain and keep going. That same trait helps us survive crises now. After 6 months of study, the council voted again. Earth was officially classified as a restricted world with mandatory observation. Humans could travel to some planets, but only with special permissions and monitoring devices. When Dr. Rivera heard this news, he was disappointed but not surprised. They're scared of us, he told his wife that night. Not because we've done anything wrong, but because we're so different from them. They can't understand how we survive in conditions they consider lethal. Earth leaders protested these new restrictions. They pointed out that humans had helped fight the Krell and had shown no signs of aggression toward other species. The council listened but did not change their decision. The gap between Earth and the galaxy grew wider. Earth's leaders knew they needed to change how the galaxy saw humans. After 8 years of increasing restrictions, they chose Ambassador Maria Gonzalez to speak for all humans at the Galactic Council headquarters. Maria had worked as a peace negotiator on Earth for 20 years before first contact. Your job is to show them we're not a threat, the United Nations Secretary told her. We want to be partners, not prisoners. Maria traveled to the massive space station where the council met. The station orbited a distant star far from Earth. It took her 3 months to get there in a ship designed for alien bodies, not human ones. The air was thin, the gravity too light, and the food barely edible for humans. When she arrived, she found herself the only human among thousands of aliens. Some had tentacles instead of arms. Others floated in bubbles of liquid. Many watched her with obvious fear. Thank you for allowing me to speak, Maria said when she finally stood before the council. 500 representatives from different worlds sat in a huge circular chamber. I know you have concerns about humans, but we have much to offer the galaxy. She showed them videos of human art, music, and culture. She explained how humans had overcome their violent past and united their world. She described human values like compassion, cooperation, and creativity. We may be physically stronger than some species, she admitted, but we use our strength to build, not destroy. We want to learn from you and share what we know. Some council members seemed impressed, but others remained doubtful. Then, during Maria's 3rd day of presentations, alarms blared throughout the station. Emergency in sectors 7 through 12, announced a voice. Unknown pathogen detected. All residents must return to quarters immediately. The council session ended in chaos. Maria returned to her room and waited. Hours later, she learned what had happened. A ship from a distant world had brought a deadly virus to the station. It spread quickly through the air systems, infecting hundreds of aliens. The station's medical teams worked desperately to find a cure, but the virus affected so many different species that they struggled to create a treatment that worked for all. The death toll rose each day. On the 5th day of the crisis, Maria received a message from Dr. Eric Bennett, the human doctor who had accompanied her to the station. Maria, humans seem immune to this virus, Eric told her. Our immune systems fight it off naturally. I think we can help. Maria contacted the council's emergency committee. Our doctor believes humans might be able to assist. Our immune systems have developed resistance to this pathogen. The committee was desperate enough to accept human help. Dr. Bennett worked with alien scientists to create a vaccine using human antibodies. When the vaccine was ready, they faced a new problem. Many sections of the station had lost power and communication. Someone needed to carry the vaccine to isolated areas. I'll go, Maria volunteered. Humans can survive conditions that might harm your people. For 3 days, Maria and a small team of human staff members traveled through damaged parts of the station. They moved through sections with no gravity, areas filled with toxic gas, and corridors exposed to radiation. They delivered vaccines to thousands of stranded aliens. When the crisis finally ended, over 200 aliens had died, but thousands more had been saved by the human-developed vaccine and the delivery team's efforts. The council's senior members invited Maria to a private meeting. They still looked nervous in her presence, but something had changed. "You have shown us something we did not expect," said the head of the council. "Your physical abilities make you dangerous, yes, but they also make you uniquely valuable in a crisis. Perhaps we have been too quick to isolate your species." Maria smiled. "Humans don't want to conquer the galaxy. We just want to be part of it. Let us help when we can, and learn when we need to." For the first time since contact, the gap between Earth and the galaxy began to narrow. The Council agreed to reconsider human classification at a special session the following month. 1 month after the virus crisis, the Galactic Council held its special session about Earth. Representatives from 300 worlds attended, either in person or through holographic projections. Ambassador Maria Gonzalez sat with Dr. Eric Bennett and Captain Frank Johnson, who had been invited to speak about human capabilities. The head of the council opened the meeting. "We are here to reconsider Earth's classification. For 9 years, we have labeled it a restricted world and limited human movement in space. Recent events suggest we should review this decision." Speakers from many worlds shared their views. Some still feared humans and wanted stricter limits. Others pointed to human help during the virus outbreak and the battle with the Krell. The debate lasted for 3 days. On the final day, Dr. Rivera presented his completed research. "Earth is indeed the most dangerous planet we have discovered," he told the council, "but not in the way you think." He showed images of Earth's harshest environments: the burning deserts, frozen poles, deep oceans, and highest mountains. "Life on Earth evolved under extreme pressure," he explained. "Mass extinctions wiped out most species 5 times in Earth's history. Each time, the survivors grew stronger and more adaptable. Humans are the result of this brutal evolutionary process." He displayed a chart comparing humans to other intelligent species. Humans could withstand more gravity, survive higher radiation, resist more diseases, and heal from worse injuries than any other known species. "But danger and value are 2 sides of the same coin," Dr. Rivera concluded. "The very traits that make humans dangerous also make them perfect for tasks other species cannot perform." Captain Johnson spoke next, describing how human soldiers had protected vulnerable colonies from the Krell. Then Dr. Bennett explained how human medical knowledge and immunity had saved thousands during the virus outbreak. Finally, Maria addressed the council. "We understand your fear. Humans come from a world that would kill most of you within minutes. Our bodies and minds developed to survive conditions you find unimaginable. But we want to use our abilities to help, not harm." The council members withdrew to consider their decision. Maria and her colleagues waited nervously. After 6 hours, they were called back. "The Galactic Council has reached a decision," announced the head of the council. "We officially declare Earth the most dangerous planet in known space." Maria's heart sank, but the council leader continued. "However, we recognize that this danger comes not from aggression, but from evolution in an extreme environment. Humans possess physical and mental traits that make them exceptional survivors. Their adaptability and problem-solving make them both potentially threatening and valuable allies." The council revealed their new plan. Most restrictions on human travel would be lifted. Earth would receive special status as a protected world whose inhabitants could serve as emergency responders, explorers of extreme environments, and defenders against threats like the Krell. They established a human monitoring committee, with both alien and human members to ensure cooperation. Human ships could now travel throughout council space if they carried monitoring devices and mixed crews. "We do not fully understand humans yet," admitted the council leader. "But we recognize your unique value to the galaxy. You can go places and do things no other species can. We need that ability. As the session ended, Admiral Lisa Martinez, once the first human to meet aliens on the space station, now the commander of Earth's first true starship, approached Maria. "The Council has asked us to lead a joint expedition," Lisa said excitedly. "We're going to explore systems beyond Council space, places too dangerous for other species to visit. We leave in 3 months." Maria smiled. From restricted to essential in 1 day. Not bad for the most dangerous species in the galaxy. As they looked out the station's windows at the stars, they knew humanity had found its place. The galaxy both feared and respected Earth as the crucible that forged the universe's most resilient intelligent species, and humans were ready to explore the cosmos, carrying their unique strengths to worlds no other species could reach. Earth was dangerous, but the galaxy needed dangerous sometimes.